Alright, so this is the start of the second video tutorial for our Blackout Poetry self-portraits. The last video basically reviewed how to find words that represent who you are in your page of text, and then begin drawing yourself according to the face chart. Alright, so I hope to have face charts at each desk as well as for y'all on your Chromebooks. Let's get started. The last thing that I worked on was my ears. I usually wear my hair back like this. So what I'm going to do now is draw my ears. And I will keep going with the tutorial. Alright, so here's what I have done so far. I might need to change my nose to be up a little bit farther because I was looking at myself and I think it's a little higher up, but I'll do that later. Here's the general look that I've got so far. The ears are here and here. I usually wear some sort of dangly earring, some sort of short earring, like this. Now, if you don't know how to draw like I do, that's okay. I know we have beginner, middle level, and advanced artists here. So I want you to just draw as well as you can at this point. We will practice drawing faces and eyes and nose and ears more later, but this is just our first attempt at it, alright? So yours will not look like mine. Yours might look better than mine, yours might look more of a beginner than mine, and that's okay, alright? I don't expect you guys to be doing it perfect your first time around. If you're not sure how to do something, break it down into shapes. So for example, if I was going to draw a simple or more simplified face here, I would probably draw something like this. And then I might draw like a small triangle, some shape like that. Alright, so you see how these are simple shapes but still starts to look like a person? So you don't have to do it as complex as it is on mine. Alright, so I'm adding in my hair. The hairline is on top of this original oval. Alright, so it would be up in this area and coming out off the head. Our hair does not stick flat to our head unless you slick it slick it back. Sometimes it's hard to talk. Alright. Now I'm going to add my neck. Usually the neck comes right off of this general area. Depending on how much weight you carry, it might be wider or how muscly you are. And if you're skinnier, it might be even thinner. Just, that's how mine probably looks. Something like that. It is kind of hard to draw myself without looking. I'm going to go ahead and pause it and fix my nose. So now I have a basic outline of the face. It looks somewhat like me. Definitely not exactly like me, but it has some of the same things that I have. So I'm happy with it. Let's move on. So now I'm going to give you guys markers or Sharpies. Make sure that you return these to me at the end of class, please. We're going to go ahead and start to draw over this with the Sharpie. Something like this. So the words will become the background, and our art will stand out more. And then after that, you can start to erase off your pencil marks. Now, the words are going to come into this soon, and I still see where I had circled those words. And here, hold on, let me focus. Right, so successful is right there. And other words are circled. So as I do this, I'm going to start working those into the design. So I'm going to pause. Alright, so this doesn't look exactly like me, but that's okay. Once you go in with the marker, there's really not much you can do after that. So I'm just going to work on adding my details. So now that I have the basic face drawn, I'm going to go ahead and start adding patterns and details all through the background and throughout the face. And while I do that, I'm going to make sure to focus on these words that mean something about me. And this part just takes creativity. You can really go about it in any way that you want. And right now, I'm just making something up. So feel free to look up patterns and designs that you like. I think I'm going to start drawing a flower here. Alright, so I'll do part of it just to give y'all an example, and then I will do the rest on my own and show y'all after that. So you basically want to fill up the whole background covering the words with designs and patterns to cover over, and then make the words stand out that are like who you are, and if you wrote a poem, make the poem stand out. Okay, so how I use the marker to fill up this whole corner, I would do that with the rest of the page as well. You can draw on top of the face, you can draw on top of the hair like I did here to highlight the words, alright? So this section is how I want you to go about the rest of the page. Alright. Okay students, I want you to have a lot of fun. Don't worry about if your face looks perfect at this point. This is our first time drawing faces together. You may have done this before, you may not have. Use the skills that you have and observe yourself. So if you want to look at yourself in your Chromebook camera, you can do that. Use your skills of observation and the face chart like this, and you will have a piece of artwork. It may look like you, it may not, but it is a self-portrait, so try and use those identifying factors. Can't wait to see what you make.